All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Baby sleep right now, so I got a little bit of free time to kind of make this video as well as I did my little rant last night. I was mad last night. I was mad. Oh my god, I was mad, man. And when you're just sick of things get easier in your life because you're no longer going to deal with it. Um, but then other things always pop up, right? You're just always going to be tested to see whether or not you're going to play by God's design or you're going to play by some other design. Okay. My normal thing is simply just to be a good person, try to help people. I would really help everybody for free if I could, but I just can't. I can't, and it's not worth it. And sometimes it's a waste of time. If I could love everybody, I would. If I could be present for everybody, I would. And I would just show up and be myself and all this other stuff, but you just can't. You can't. Okay, you just can't. Life doesn't work that way because it doesn't matter how mature I am. It doesn't matter how much I understand what's going on. It doesn't matter how much resources I have or another person has. The other person is always normally has like this issue. Okay, most people got issues. And, I just think about some of my relationships over the last couple of years, and it's been pretty much fine. The issue's always been me not really willing to leave most of the time because I was trying to hold on to the relationship most of the time, right? And that's really what this video is about. Because my brother called me a day, it was a couple hours ago, and I was like, who's this? He's like, oh, well, this is like whatever. I'm like, okay, like, well, what's up? And he's like, oh, well, we're about to meet up, and him and my other brother about to meet up. And he said, my other brother said, I don't smile anymore. I'm like too serious now. I'm like, this motherfucker lives around the corner and has not called me in almost a year. And he's saying this stuff, right? But I get that's what like regular people talk about and stuff like that. People joke about that shit. But I just don't. I'm too busy now, and I got like a business, I got a family, and don't worry, I do have the time to go show up if I wanted to, but I actually don't want to, right? And that's really what like kind of made this video come up, as well as just working with clients who aren't serious, or partners or whatever, or people that you used to know, whatever. It's like the whole thing is that sometimes people think you hate them, and it's just like, I don't hate you. We can't work together because of whatever reason, right? Because it's just hopeless or it's a waste of time. Um, Basically, I just told him, I was like, look, if you want to just talk, whatever, you can call me. He's like, I said, just text me because I don't really answer the phone anymore. And, you know, he was trying to joke around or whatever and stuff like that. But the last conversation we had was like not good. And I'm like, every time I talk to you, I don't have a good conversation. So the only reason I picked up the phone is because I'm having issues with my mailbox. And they said they would call me back. The mailbox company, they said whatever they're called, USPS. So I was like, all right. So I've been picking up all the phone calls. I'm getting all these loan offers. I'm having, just the normal stuff. It's like annoying that I never pick up the phone, basically. Like I never pick up the phone. I used to before, but not anymore. I don't care anymore, right? I'm that whatever the caring gene, like whatever any ounce of that kind of caring I had in me was gone. Maybe I was like a couple years ago, because I was like, all right, after the family stuff and some other stuff that happened to me a couple years, I was like, all right, I'm not doing this shit no more. This shit is over, right? And it's just me being too accepting of people, being accepting. Like, I know he doesn't know shit. I know he's a kid. He's 25 years old. He doesn't know what's going on, man. I know he doesn't know half of the things he's saying, which we can do the whole thing, forgive them, Jesus, or whatever, right? Forgive them because they know not what they do. And yeah, but it's like, do you really have the time to keep being around a person like that? Like, no, you don't. You don't. Okay. You really don't. And that's the part that people do not really talk about. Like, just because you know that the person doesn't really know, and you know that they're not aware of what's going on, it doesn't really mean you can really afford to kind of bring them up, or to just sit there and talk with them, whether it's your family or not. It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying here? Like, at some point, as you get older, you have to be like, all right, this really doesn't really make any sense anymore. Okay. This doesn't make any sense. You're not going to really just want to talk to anybody. Okay. You love them, of course, but you just can't. Okay. This is meet them where they are. Never said love them where they, yeah. So, but even meeting people where they are, unless there's some kind of return on investment, you really can't do it. Sometimes you just can't. You just can't. You can't afford it sometimes because it's not worth it. Like, for example, Yeah, he's supposed to go out with my brother and hang out. And you're like, oh, you want to come? I'm like, not really. No, like I don't want to go hang out, basically, right? Because they're going to talk about stuff I don't want to talk about, which I don't mind, just to sit there and just entertain them and meet them and stuff like that. I don't mind that, but I'd rather just spend time with my family, right? Because I don't want any doorways to be opened up of me caring about them again. I'm not really, and my life is actually like really good right now, so I don't really want any emotional attachment to people that can't really provide me anything. And I hate to be like that with family, you know what I'm saying? But it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying here? Because it's like, what am I getting out of this? They're getting to hang out and do, hey, everybody's happy. Yes, I get it, but what do I get? I got to hear about the economy or something. And, I'm like, okay, I just got to sit there. Like, no, like, I'm not going to sit there and listen to that bullshit for like for like 2 hours, which I could though. I wouldn't really mind it if things were clear and we were talking, whatever. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll just sit there with you. But it's been like years and it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Like, I talked about a lot of different stories on here, and I talk about many different stories. One of the primary stories was my cousin maybe a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I don't really hate him. I don't really hate anybody. I talked about falling out with a lot of people on here, but I don't really hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. They can think I hate them all they want. They can be weird all day. I don't really care. But it's just one of those things where you can't really just afford to keep like nurturing some relationship sometimes, because there's nothing in it for you anymore. You get it? Like at one point I was like that, where, hey, yeah, let's just have a great relationship and this, that, and the other. I'm not like that anymore. As of like the last time where I was like, after my cousin, I was like, all right, this is it. I'm not doing this shit no more. And it's not really him per se, but it's just me putting effort into where I'm just wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wasting my time trying to have this, hey, let's be cool. Let's do, like, if we're not doing anything together, it's just a waste of time. That's like the best way I can say it. Okay. If we're not really doing anything, in this case, it would be eating, but I don't really want to eat because it's going to be like painful to eat with them. So I'm like, okay, why, you know what I'm saying here? Like, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but this is a part of life. Like, if it's my lady, yeah, we sit around each other. We're not going to talk business all the time. It's going to be like random stuff, sure, but it's just, I don't know if this makes sense. Let's see, if we were not working on teams, then what are we doing? Yes, exactly, right. Right. And I've always been that way. So even like I said, even with my brothers or my family member or whoever, like my old cousin or whatever, I was always focused on being on teams the whole time. You know what I'm saying here? I was always focused on it. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, if we're on teams, like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like, we'll hang out and eat and play games. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, but I have nothing to really talk about. Like, I don't gossip. I don't really talk about other people's issues. I don't really have any issues. If you do have issues, these are the kind of things you want to talk about while you're younger, but I don't really gossip. Most of the things people talk about is gossip. I'm not really talking about nothing. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, how's this person doing? They're okay. They got a job. That's it. How's this person doing? They're okay. They're just working. They got a business. Like, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying here? I don't really talk about others behind their back, and not in like a negative way or a positive way. I just don't talk about other people because there's no point. I'm not really interested in talking about others unless it's in a mutual thing that I'm doing it for them. Like, I don't really do that. Like, something my old partner used to do. He used to be like gossiping a little bit. I'm like, not really like gossip, but it was more like, just like, oh, here's something funny or whatever. And I'd be like, yeah, what's up with that or whatever, so it was that, but then we all had a group chat. So it was like different. I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, I don't care, but I rarely talk about people unless it's about a topic that has to do with moving me forward towards my objectives. Okay. They are focused on control or trauma. You're thinking of bonding. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I don't really know. And all I do know is that other people bond over different ways. And I don't bond that way. I bond over, we're working together on teams most of the time. Or it's like, hey, I'm working on something right now, check this out. Or I'm working on this thing right now, check it out, or whatever. That's something that me and my old partner used to do a lot. We used to be like, yeah, I'm reading this right now. Like, what do you think about this? Like, I bounce ideas. That's what he was to me. He was like, I bounce ideas off of him. What does he think about something? He did nice stuff for me. So I was like, yeah, here's a trip. I pay for some trips and stuff like that, whatever. So like, see what I'm saying here? But, it's just one of those things where sometimes you just really can't afford to talk to people anymore because it's not really worth it. The juice has to be worth the squeeze. Like, if every time you're talking to somebody, baby sleep, so she might like start crying and running here. If if you are spending time with a person and every time you talk to them is stressful, it's like, is it worth keep talking to them? Or they have some issue that they're dealing with at their job, or some issue they're dealing with, whatever, and at some point it becomes too negative. I remember even having conversations with my old partner about this. He'd be like, bro, like, you keep talking about negative shit all the time. I'm like, really? He's like, yes, like, come on, like, are you going to solve this shit or not? I was like, oh, I never thought about it like that. He's like, yeah, man, like, come on, you got to stop. I was like, okay. And I did stop, right? So the point, the point was, is though, I didn't really understand that at the time, because I'm just like, oh, okay. And after he said it, I was like, oh, well, I guess every time if it's negative, then okay. Then we just play the game. He'd be quiet. He'd be like, I'll just be quiet. He'd be like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Right. But he'd be like, well, you're used to doing this though. Like you're like this. Like, yeah, well, I just changed. And he was like, no, it doesn't happen that fast though, because most people they're not really malleable. I'm very malleable, meaning that I change, depending on what I need to get done. And I'm like, hey, I said, my bad. I had no idea that I was making you stressed. Let's just play the game. Let's have fun. So that's what we did. We played the game, talked about business most of the time. At that point forward, it was like mostly business, and then whatever he wanted to talk about. Cause he never talked about his issues, but more like game stuff or whatever, or trying to figure it out. It was just a lot of trying to figure out stuff at that time, right? Just trying to figure it out, because there was like a lot of weird shit out there. Kevin Samuels was out at the time. We would laugh at that. Fresh and Fit just came out. We would laugh at that. And I did not have the ability to identify certain things because I wasn't emotionally mature enough at that time. Like, I was smart, but it doesn't mean I was emotionally mature enough to really identify what I was really looking at, God's design and all the other spiritual stuff that I know now, because of the separation of that. If I was still around there, I probably would not be that way. You know what I'm saying here? So sometimes you got to go through things in order to grow, but then sometimes when you grow, you're like, all right, well, this is it. Right? That's when I learned about being in alignment. I'm like, oh, so this is it, huh? At that point, if we're not in alignment, aka working on teams, then what's the point in talking to anybody? Right? Then I got to that point. I'm like, hey, well, there's no point, because otherwise you're just doing things just to do them. What you're really looking at is a very, like, I could say that I had very immature relationships when I was younger because I didn't understand. You're my family member. We have a relationship. You are an old friend. We have a relationship. My partner, that was like a little bit different because, okay, we exchanged stuff. So it was like really beneficial for me. He exchanged data. I exchanged money. We worked together on some things. I'm like, okay, well, what do we want to do? Like, whatever it is, I'll do it. Just let me know. So it was an exchange. With my cousin, it was an exchange, right? It's an exchange. So it was worth it because he always had something worth either playing or something or whatever most of the time or whatever. And he was good for conversation most of the time. He's always had something to laugh at. He'd be like, did you hear about the lady something or whatever? I'm like, oh yeah, it was, so it was like, it's like that, you know what I'm saying here? But that is like more beer, you're hanging out and you're having a beer kind of talk thing, because I don't really gossip. I don't talk about anybody. Only thing I talk about is like what's going on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I was always like, questioning myself all the time. And I was like, oh, okay, like, because I'm like, this shit doesn't make sense. Why are people even talking about this shit? Or to talk about the World Cup. Did you hear about, like, somebody said to me the other day, like, oh, did you hear the Spain won? I was like, yeah, like, great. Yeah, I can't believe they pulled through. I was like, yeah. I was like, should I look this up? And I was like, actually, nah, like, I'm not looking this shit up. Like, okay, that's it. It's just, they get a head nod out of me and that's it, right? And I'm not being a jerk about it, but it's just one of those things where you don't really have time to be investing in low value relationships because it's not worth it, because you could put that relationship time into something else. Okay. And I don't want to sound like a robot or that I don't care about my family. I do. I still love them, even though all the weird shit or whatever. I still love my cousin, even though he's a dickhead sometimes or whatever, or he was. But it's one of those things where it's like, you can't keep dealing with it because it's just too much. It's too much after a while, and like, you could just be like, you got to do this, but you don't really have to stay present there. You can just leave, it says, yes, that's why I understand when you mention your cousin, cause it's not about him, but it's about my journey. Yeah. It's not really necessarily him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And investing in values and relationships when when the relationships then view you as low. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's just one of those things where, like, I was at my lady's Man, I remember talking about my partner about some of this stuff years ago, man. I used to go to my lady's parents' house a lot, and I used to be like, "What's going on?" He'd be like, "Bro, you got to stay out of there." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. It's just always something. You go there and you come back weird or whatever." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I'm like, "What?" And I didn't really understand what was going on at the time. It's like 4 years ago, man. Like a lot of stuff happened like so long ago. It's like crazy. Because I don't remember the last time I even talked to my old partner or whatever, or other people. Basically, I don't like when I'm done talking to you, I'm just done because I don't have the energy to kind of go back to managing people's feelings, because that's really all I really do, right? And it's like it gets difficult after a while to do that because they're not really meeting you where you're at. They're just want to be themselves, and then that's why they like you, right? Because they get to be themselves around you, which is fine, but it has to make sense. It has to make sense after a while, right? So, I'm at my lady's house, and one of the aunts is there or something, and basically she's from the hood or whatever. So like normally it's just quiet or whatever, but like there's so many things that happen there. It's always something though. Something's always happening there. I'm like, why is there something always happening here? I couldn't like figure it out. The answer was just to don't go back, which I don't really go, but sometimes I'll still show up because the baby's there and the cousins are there or whatever. I was like, all right, you need to, that's why the baby grew so fast, because she's around her cousins. And the aunt's there this time, and she's like, I hope you're fucking happy. You fucking bitch. I hope you're fucking happy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's happening here, right? I'm like, did I miss something? And I'm messaged like my lady. I'm like, is something going on? Because I'm sleeping on the mattress or whatever that they got in the room or whatever. Because even though I'm old, man, I'm still a fucking kid. I'm still a baby, just like everybody else, right? You go to your family's house where I got the couch and shit. You got the mattress or whatever. Like, yeah, we're over there. The baby's here. It's an excuse for the baby to whatever, right? All right, whatever. And that's the whole thing. So you can see you can be making all this money and still do regular shit, but then you can't really like talk about it that much because people, oh, you're not, you're not serious, are you? It's like you don't really understand how this shit works, right? The money don't got nothing to do with the person. It's just everything to do with just having money. Anyways, I'm just like messaging on the mattress and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like on the guest bed. She thought somebody stole something out of her wallet. And I'm like, why would somebody steal from out of her wallet? It's like 4 people here. And I'm in the room. Like, what the fuck do I want to steal from somebody poor? Right? I'm trying to like understand it, but it's not really meant for me to understand because she's crazy. Right? So they drive her back to Philly, and I'm like, okay, that's 2. That's 2 people there, right? So like it was me, my lady, she wasn't there though. The mom, my lady's mom, my lady's dad, and then the aunt, and then her husband. So that's about like 5 or 6 people or whatever, right? I'm in the room. My lady's gone. That means there's 2 people, and they're driving her home. So why would you like who you actually? So I guess the whole ride she was home like 3 hours or something. So I'm like, who exactly stole what? And I'm like trying to like, there's only like this many people here. So if the people are driving you home, like they basically live in a ghetto. So I'm like, okay, like here we go with this like weird shit. Like, okay, like and the point is that these are like ghetto people problems that you don't really think about after a while. There's nothing wrong with just trying to get up, right? You might have some money, you don't have it some days. Something may happen, but thinking people stealing your shit, it's like, oh, this is like some ghetto shit. Like, what the fuck? Stealing or like manipulating and stuff. It's like, oh, that's like ghetto. Like, what? You don't see the house you're in? It's like a really expensive house. What the fuck? They need to steal like $500 out of your wallet or something, or what? I don't know the number, some stupid number, but she found it. She found whatever she was looking for later and was like, oh, I'm sorry to everybody. Not to me, obviously, because I just was in the dark, I guess, right? Just trying to sleep as much as I could before I got back to the grind. And, I'm just like, oh, this is just like ghetto stuff. And I was like, why you keep inviting this person over? And it's like, eventually it's like, you just care about people. And if you don't know how to manage your relationships, you'll end up with some of these like leftover relationships. Okay. You'll end up with some of these. And why? Because you just don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? You'll end up with these. You'll be like, okay, yeah, this is my cousin, or this is my family member, or this is my brother. And it's like, yeah, this is my, like, what the fuck am I hanging out with my brother for if he's like being like dumb and stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, somebody stole my shit. Motherfucker. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, you're not really, they told my, so basically one of my brothers told my other, he's like, oh, you don't really smile like that anymore. And you're serious. It's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just not there to make you comfortable. That's basically it. I'm just tired. I got tired of making them comfortable. I got tired of making everybody comfortable. That's it. It's not really like a big deal. It was like, yeah, I just can't keep doing this shit. It's too exhausting. I'm managing the relationship. I'm investing in the relationship. I'm investing in your emotional state. I'm having a great time. You're having a great time. Hey, I don't have time to keep doing this. It has to be worth it. It has to be worth it. There's only so many hours in the day. You know what I'm saying? This is, yes, you're literally managing yes, exactly. That's like the problem. That's why all my relationships always had issues, whether it's family members or partners or whatever. Cause I'm doing all this like emotional work that the people don't really understand what's going on. They're just showing up and they're just having a great time. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like not talking sometimes. I'm saying the right words sometimes. And it's like, oh, like, hey, this shit is exhausting. Okay. Yeah. And the worth it, it's not about the money. It's just about me managing myself and my feelings and my emotional state, because that's really what matters when you're doing business. It matters all about your emotions. So how am I going to be around people who can't manage their emotions? That's really all being poor really is. You can't manage your emotions. That's why most people need the Bible. You need the Bible to tell you to ignore your emotions and follow instructions because they're emotional. You understand? That's like why it's there. You know, instead of getting healed and then tapping in to figure out why you're emotional, it's like, how do you even tell somebody? Like, I'm not gonna tell somebody that. So the point I'm saying here is that sometimes you can love somebody, you can care about them and all the other stuff, but you just don't have the energy to invest into the relationship because it's not worth it. I would never talk to a ghetto woman. It's too much energy. Some woman talking about the World Cup to me every day, like what, or Bad Girls Club. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are literally killing me. Okay, you know what's going on right now? I got to figure out this shit. I got more shit to figure out in life and have fun with my journey. So it has to be somebody who's okay either just showing up and being happy, or they're going to come with me on a journey. Hence, controlling the frame of the relationship. And that requires emotional intelligence that I did not understand at the time. All right, I was just like, oh yeah, man, as long as they're happy, we're good. Come on, let's go out to eat. Let's go do things. It's different. But you just can't. Every time the person, or they're mad or they got emotional because you said something, it's like, oh, here we go with this shit. They're like, come on. Well, you think this, and you that's what you think about me, and that's what I think about you. Like, yeah, oh my goodness, like, is it worth saying anything about it? And it's like, come on, it's just too much. It's too much. Well, you did this, and it's not worth it. It's just sometimes it's just not worth it, right? But it's worth it to them because they got all the benefits at the time. It says, yes, I could tolerate a couple minutes of gossip or baby mama drama, but yeah. And the whole thing is that, most of the time when I talk to people, I'm just trying to figure out something. I'm not really trying to use them or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out something most of the time. So my cousin's like, hey, come on, let's play the game. My old partner is like, hey, I'm trying to figure out something. With my brother, I was like, hey, let's be on teams. So it's always like figuring something out. My youngest brother was just like looking out for him until he can get on his feet. I'm like, hey, you're on your feet. You got a job now. He's taking care of old people or something like this or whatever. I'm like, cool, man. Like, good for you. That's it. Well, like, hey, what's up? You want to hang out? I'm like, no, man. No, I don't want to hang out. Yeah, like I said, I don't hate anybody. I just want peace. I just want to be left alone. Or you're somehow going to magically want to learn about magic and shit. Like, what the fuck? And magnetics and attraction and spirituality and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing as when you're talking with clients and stuff like this. It's the same kind of thing. That's the beginning of the relationship. It has to make sense for both people. Like, if the person they don't have the deposit, then you're really going to fail at this, number one. But number two, how am I really going to take you seriously? I don't have a way to vet you and take you seriously as a person because you don't have this money set aside. So you're going to be like, what? Yeah, I can do it. And I believe. And it's like, come on, man. Like, you just, like, and cause I know better. And if you don't know any better, then you just do it. And oh, well, maybe I'll, you know what I'm saying here? Like that stuff matters. And sometimes it's just not where they don't matter. Like I want to help everybody, but I know I can't. Yeah, my time is limited. I have a little bit of time in the day to do whatever. I want to spend time with my family. I want to be happy. I don't want to be arguing. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be gossiping. I don't want to do those things. So with the little time that I have, what do I want to do? I want to just be happy. I want to laugh and I want to play this game and I want to live my life. You know what I'm saying here? Well, yeah, or breaking beliefs. Yeah. That's when you're trying to empower people and stuff. And I'm just not really trying to do that. Even now, if something ever happened to me and my lady and we're not together or whatever, I'm like, half of the women out there, they're not really that intelligent to kind of talk to in the first place. So it's like, I don't really want to, and that's not me being ignorant. It's just what it is. I don't really want to keep investing in people who I'm just like, it's like talking to a wall almost sometimes. You know what I'm saying here? It's like talking to a wall, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's like talking to a wall. You literally just talk to them like, hey, man, I care about you. I love you, this, that, and the other. Yeah, all right, but you won't do this. Or it's like, I don't know. I can't, it's just too much. Or like, what is it now? Or like, what do you need now? Or like, what is it now? You get it. It's always like, what is it now? Never. I should feel good talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I should be like, hey, what's up? Everything's great. You ready to go? That's it. Like, that's really all it should be. And the older you get, it gets more like that over time. Even when they're talking to women, it's like, okay, like you're upset again. Like, what the fuck? Or whatever. It's like, what are you upset about now? Oh, well, this and that. And people just want you to kind of sit there and deal with it. And I'd rather not. I'd rather just be by myself. I'd rather like, I'm just going to watch a movie or something. I'm spend time with my baby. Like, I'd rather just have another baby. That's why I'm like, that's why I was always like this kind of like, I'll deal with it. If you're hooking up, I guess, or whatever, but that's why it's not really healthy. Because now you have this other influence influencing you about like nonsense. If you talk to the wrong person, I don't even want to have sex with the wrong person now. It's like dangerous. They're like, could be complaining and shit about, oh, you won't believe what happened. And they're gossip. They're still in the regular world, man. They're like civilians. They don't even know what's going on. Over here, I got to worry about insectoids and reptilians and shit. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out what to do right now about these aliens and reptoids and, magic penguins and shit or whatever. I'm trying to figure out this shit right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of conversation is that? I just went to my job and this girl Keisha said she likes me. Like, okay, like, and the only conversation to have as an adult is, okay, are you hitting it or not? No. Well, then why are you talking about her? Do you want help with it? No. Then why, like eventually you just stop talking. Eventually you just have nothing to say. And I've had nothing to say for years at this point. Like, I don't really talk. I go outside, I just straight face, just because I literally have nothing to say. The person has to literally talk to me about something I'm interested in, which is like very particular, like business, money, magic, summoning, parts work, business. They're trying to figure out something. Like, if somebody comes to me and they're trying to figure out something, we can talk all day. Yeah, this is how it works. Da, 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 da. If they're not doing that, what am I really talking? What am I talking for? I don't do TV and cartoons and stuff. I had a woman that was great on paper. She was still caught in the shade room. Oh, shade room world, creating issues with him. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's always something, and people are people, but it's just like, what is it worth it ultimately to deal with them? And I was telling my lady about this now, because I'm like, hey, look, I just got done researching all the stuff I needed to research. And now we're basically heading to this new part of our relationship now where, you can't just be doing what you were doing before. She's just a regular person or whatever. And I'm just letting her, I'm like, look, this is the new way. Even though she's helpful. Like, I know people, want everything to be perfect, but sometimes it's not like that. I'm like, hey, look, here's where we're at now. Here's where I'm going now. Here's what's next. Do you want to do this, or what do you want to do? Because every now and then I'll like say like, hey, everything's good, right? Like, yeah. All right, here's what I'm doing now, and here's where we're going. So are you ready for that? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm telling her basically I'm not going to be present like that anymore. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, all this stuff I've been doing all these years, like, I'm just not going to be present the same way. I'm not. I got other shit going on. I don't have time to be doing this. And then it's always like, well, what if? And it's like, look, listen, I'm just telling you what it is. And if it gets too bad, I'm going to move out and have my own place. And, well, I'll buy her a house or something to live in with the baby, but I'm not doing that. Right. I'm not going to go down for others. And that's the part. People want you to go down for them. That's the part. You know what I'm saying here? They want you to, they trying to take you back to where they're at. And it's like, nah, like you're dead. Like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm all right. I'm going to keep going. And I prefer that we keep this thing going as long as possible, but it just has to make sense. If it doesn't make any sense, it's not like you got to need to have like $1 billion or nothing, but you can't be doing all this lazy shit or something else, like, or whatever, eating trash foods and stuff. Like, hey, look, I'm starting to eat healthy. You got to not bring like no trash in the house or whatever, right? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Being around them is opening you up into shaming tactics. Correct. Yes, exactly. And like I said, ultimately, this has to do with simply just knowing if it's worth it, talking to people. There's always going to be people you talk to and you hang out with and stuff like that. But sometimes they're just, it's like, hey, this could never be anything more than sex, because that's really that's all it is. But sometimes it's not even worth that. Sometimes it's not worth more than just a video game or just having something to eat, but sometimes it's not even worth having something to eat sometimes, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's just how it goes, right? That's just the real life, right? That's just reality. And people think you hate them and stuff. And it's like, no, you're just, and it sounds bad. It sounds a lot worse than what it is, but it's just doesn't make sense. I can use my time doing something I want to do and doing something I'm going to be happy with, or I can use my time with you and I can be unhappy, or I can worry about some issue, or I have to fix something, or I have to give you advice on something because I care about you, or I can just do what I'm doing and everything's fine. Right? Like, of course, you want to look out for your friends and family and stuff like that, of course, right? But it's like, at some point, you get to the point where you're like, look, I care about you, but I just can't do this. If you're serious, you're going to need some money. They become clients. It's like either you're going to be a client or not. We don't got to be a client for me to go eat with you and stuff like that, but I'm not going to just go hang out. We're going to go to my restaurant, the one I want to go to. We're going to do all the stuff I want to do all the time. You get it? Because I'm not going to keep putting myself in a situation that's not healthy for me in my emotional state. And it's like, it's annoying. Like, the older you get, it's more annoying, because the more smarter you get too. And it's not like you're like, I'm a smart guy or whatever. I'm not saying that. It's just more like, I know what's going on and I know where things lead, and it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of, there was this lady, she's obviously like jaded now. She's okay looking. She's all right, but she's like one of the female talking leaders, and she talks about men and relationships and shit. I'm like, and I used to like listening to her, and I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? And she's just really is like, you ever see somebody like, she's one of those people who's really smart, they're really intelligent, and they could be smarter and grow and all the other stuff, but they just are who they are, which is nothing wrong with it. But they just, like, she's like, oh, I don't care about love. I just care about, having fun and driving nice cars. Probably because she probably gave up on having a healthy relationship, which is fine. Right. But her identity kind of reflects that. And it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying here? Like, it's like, and to be honest, I've been other person as well and didn't understand what was going on. Yeah. Like I said, it's something that happens. Like, even as you get, like, when you're younger, you're trying to, like, okay, man, like, I'll step up. I'll do what I got to do. I got to get me a job. And the person's like, look, man, I mean, this is going to be, it's too much work. You got to find somebody else to help you, man. I want to help you, but I've just been through this too many times, and it becomes not worth it. You don't want to spend all this time investing with somebody and then, then you're let down or something like that. It's just not worth it, right? There's nothing wrong with disappointment, but it's more like, I actually know where this is going, and I'd be doing it just because I'm having issues being alone or something. You know what I'm saying? You have to, like, want to help people, but then do it in a healthy way that makes sense for you. That's why I make people pay. If I didn't think it was going to be helpful to me, then I'd be like, yeah, everybody, we're going to do a group call. We're going to do a group call every Friday or something. And no, nobody has to pay. Just show up and do your business. But that's not good for me. It's not good. Why? Not only can I use that time on people who actually are going to pay. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, hey, all these people, they're random people. They're random people I don't know. I haven't vetted. They probably have all these issues. I'm going to be talking about things that I don't really even talk about anymore, like personal finance, or trying to budget money, or like somebody's ex cheating on them or something. Like, my ex cheated on me. What should I do? I just leave. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's nothing To like when you actually know what's going on is different than when you don't know. You know what I'm saying here? That's really a difference. And it's like, even I know I talk a lot about a lot of different things here, but I'm not like, even when you're talking to women, it's like you really don't really want to waste your time if you're not smashing. I don't really want to waste time with a person like that. Oh, we can just have company. Yes, we can. But it's like I'm not really interested in just being your friend. So why would I even waste my time doing that? It takes time to get there in your life, but over time it starts to be like that. Right? I'm not really interested in giving you free stuff. I'm interested in you becoming a client. But you're not going to be a client. And on top of that, you have to be a particular kind of client too. You got to be particular. You actually have to have the mind for doing this stuff. It's not like I can just work with anybody. I could, but what's that going to do to me? It's going to make me stressed. Or like there's this weirdo guy he talking about. He just asked his girl on a date, and he's in his 60s. I'm like, what the fuck are you posting this shit about? Like, I would never coach that guy, or whatever. You know what I'm saying here? Like, why would I even have a relationship with a guy like that? Because it's like you're so far gone. You're celebrating that you asked a woman out on a date online and embarrassing yourself. You're that far gone. That person has to pay at least 50,000 or more for me to talk to him. I don't want to be around a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure people do the same thing for me. I don't be around a guy that's always like, too serious or whatever. That's how it goes, right? But the point is that you got to pay for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're always paying. You just don't know how you're paying. You know what I'm saying here? You don't know how you're paying. You're paying with your time, your energy, your spirit, like you may be paying 5 months down the road, 2 months down the road, a couple days. Your energy's off. You don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right anymore. Why? Because this person showed up and now things aren't going right. Why? Because they complained about some stupid issue that you can't really get out of your head now. That's how life is. That's how the real thing is. It's not like you just got to be an entrepreneur and disappear and all. It's like, no, it's like all these people have these issues. Like, imagine me being around that crazy aunt. Oh, you motherfuckers, you took my little $100 or whatever, like every day. I'm like, nobody's stealing no damn $100. What the fuck I'm gonna do with that? What the fuck I'm gonna do with that? What the fuck I'm gonna do with $100 or $500? What am I really gonna do with that? That's why I have to charge $10,000. I charge that much money because I'm like, okay, this actually makes sense. It makes sense. You want to grow your business, you at least need $10,000 or so to grow your business. If you don't have that, you're not ready to grow your business. I don't care what anybody's talking about. Well, you can do it for $5,000. Yes, you can do it for $5,000. You can pay me $1,000 and we could be growing your business. But if you don't have the $10,000, you're more likely to fail than you are going to succeed because you don't have the discipline to keep going. To save money. You don't have the discipline to save money. You don't have the discipline to not go out there and buy stupid stuff. You don't have it. You got to have it. It's a particular trait. Do I really want to just make money off of people that are going to fail? No. I'd rather just not talk to them. I'd rather just talk to people who are going to be winners. And it's not like this is like how you do it. And this is, see, people try to make it into like this whole success thing. Okay. Let me see. Yes, it's called planting the seed, but it's crazier is they will cut you off quicker. Yes, exactly right. It's all about serving each other. So if there's no exchange to be had, then it doesn't really make sense. But ultimately, like people do these, like if you ever watch an inspirational video, they'll say, hey, you are your 5 closest friends. Don't hang out around the wrong people and all the same stuff, right? What it really is that you're just wasting time with people that are not going to help you get to where you're trying to go. That's really it. You're wasting time. They're not. So if you're around a person who's like, for example, let's say that they're doing drugs or something. Okay, you're doing drugs and I care about you for some reason. I don't know why. I care about you for some reason. This means because I care about you, that's leaving less space to care about what I'm working towards in my life and by being in God's design. So you could help this person get on their feet. You could help this person do the right thing. Or you can just focus on yourself. Okay? When you come to God's design and you have an abundance to help people, then it's going to make sense. When you say, okay, this is worth it. When you can say this is worth it, that's how you know when it's right. There's some people that get wrapped up by greed and stuff like that, but like for the most part, nobody no. After like 30, 40,000 a month, you're probably pretty much done. What are you going to really do with the money? Nothing. So it's like, okay, well, I kind of want to help out people. I have the time. I'm doing charity. That's what I'm doing. I say, okay, give me $10,000, but you're going to need $500 a month to start your own business. If you can't do that, you're pretty much going to fail. Like, I don't really know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can run a discount maybe or something. I can do those things, but they're pretty much going to fail though, because they don't have the discipline. You know, if I just, all right, I'm trying to do a quick cash grab. All right, everybody that got 10,000 show up or whatever. And, or it's 5,000 this time, whatever. It's $500. It's a course. It's worth it's $1,000 maybe for the course. I know everybody's not going to do it. I know they're not. That's why I make sure I get on the phone and get to know them. Okay, talk to me about who you are. Talk to me about what you have. Talk to me about what's going on, so I can know whether or not this is a good fit for you. And then guess what? I'm figuring out, is it a good fit for me too? Because I don't want to waste my time, because it goes both ways. Okay, and just because you care about them and they trying to change their life doesn't mean you got to be the one to do it. So I hope this video makes sense. You can love your family, you can care about them, you know, they can be weird, and, you know, let's forgive each other and try to get back on the same page. This is a value exchange. Ultimately, you have to make it a value exchange. You got to. Okay, you can just hang out, sure, right? But there still has to be something you're getting out the deal. If you like hanging out with them, great, right? If I liked hanging out with my family, then I would have did it. I don't. Not anymore. Maybe before, because I was trying to help them before. You know, I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna show you how to get your credit right. I'm gonna show you how to do this business stuff. I'm gonna show y'all how to do this stuff. They don't need it anymore. So what do I need to hang out with them for? They're not trying to learn how to run a business. So I don't need to hang out. Just hanging out and talking about like whatever is not interesting for me. I'm interested in talking about business. Sure. If it's a woman, I'll sit there and listen to what she got to say because I'm getting some. Like, that's like how this goes. You know, if we have a business relationship or we've done transactions in the past or something like that, I'm interested in having a conversation. Why? Sure. Why not? Come on, let's go get some lunch, man. Okay. But what's the point? Is this leading up to anywhere? Is it leading anywhere? That's the point. Is it leading anywhere? Are we fucking, or are we doing business? It's kind of the same thing. What are we doing? Oh, well, I just want to just have some company. You're just lonely. I don't want to be just around somebody that's just lonely. I'm not getting anything out of the deal. Are you paying for dinner? Are you doing anything? At least if it's woman, it's a chance for sex. Okay, yeah. I mean, let's eat. Is a good company and sex. Okay, great. Right? Great. If it's not, then I just go watch a movie at home by myself or with my family or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I'm not out here dating or anything like that, but I'm just giving an example. Like, like this is how you gotta be. And it's not until you get there, it doesn't really make any sense until you get there. Because most people don't really understand how to have a high quality relationship. I'm all about high quality, mutual beneficial relationships. That's what I've always been about over the years. My real relationships have always been like that. As far as my old partner, high quality, mutually beneficial relationship. I helped him with some stuff. He helped me with some stuff. Maybe it didn't work way out all the way, but it was a very mutual beneficial relationship. Very mutually beneficial. Okay. The point is, I only have those kind of relationships. Okay. The other relationships that I had with, as far as with my family, that's just because they're family. We played the game sometimes, but I stopped playing the game. I only played the game for them. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not really just, it's not really who I am. I'm really just always, let me just focus on this work. Because I like to study, I like to read and stuff like this. I'm like, that's what my friend Malcolm used to do. We always talk about conspiracy theories and why is it happening, what's going on. But since I don't need to do that anymore, I don't talk to him as much anymore. I have a job for him right now. I'm like, hey, look, I got this job for you. He's like, what is it? I need you to download all this stuff off this site. And he's like, why? I'm like, come on, you know why? Because that's what I pay him to do. I'm like, hey, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah. Why? So I can watch it later. So it's like, okay, just scrape it. And I already paid for it, but the point is that I don't want to keep having to log in and log in. I already paid like for the year. I'm going to watch it, but I just don't get tired of logging and logging and logging and logging and logging and logging. I want to just watch it. on my cloud. Okay, click. I can watch it from my phone. I can watch it from here. But if I got to keep going to the computer, I got to keep. Oh, I got to do this button now. Okay, now I got to magic log in, and I got to do the pin code. Like, come on, man. Like, can you just do this? You know, how it'll take you a day or something? He has like some kind of secret strategy where he does this shit. I'm like, look, man, you can do it, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. I ask him hey, how's the work? How's everything going? He's doing a job. I'm giving him money. You can't. It's really a win-win-win for him because he's going to do nothing anyway. So here's money. Here's something that you may enjoy that I paid for already. You know, I already paid for it. For example, there's this one program I paid for like 2 years ago. All the content is on like Gmail like drives and stuff, and you got to keep like clicking in it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, hey, can you like do this? Like, yeah, okay, thanks. You know, so now I have it just kind of set up right. But the point, that's a beneficial. Hey, look, I got a person who can do this for me. Great. They're getting paid. Everything's easy. But the more, like, what am I going to do with people who don't do that? So you can't use you. You can't partner on nothing. You have no money. Can't have sex. So, like, what's there? It'd be buddies, right? No, that's not enough. That's not enough. Okay. And I just don't want to, I hope I'm not sounding like a jerk, but like, you don't really get this far in life and you still like that. You have to let that go. You have to pick who you're going to have a relationship with and who is worth having a relationship and who's not worth having a relationship with. Is it going to bring more stress? Is it not bringing more stress? Are we in alignment? Are we going in the same direction or we're not? That's the part people don't know. So then they end up bringing all these past people into their lives, and then your life gets ruined and they can't figure it out. Or they dating somebody on a lower level than them, and it's not like lower class or whatever. They're just poor minded people that basically don't. They just around. Like, think about this, right? How many women are dating like these bums? They're dating these bums. They're having sex with these bums. You know, there's messing with their energy and all this other stuff. How are you supposed to take a woman like that seriously? They literally dating like homosexuals or whatever. There's nothing wrong with the guys getting on their feet, but the women who fuck them is like something else. It's like, damn, okay, you're fucking this shit. I better stop right now before I get you pregnant by accident, and now you're trying to get me for child support or divorce or something. Okay, like that's how this should happen. These guys, they make all the money, but then they don't realize like, hey, you can't just be cool with people. You need to be cool with your own. Same thing for black people. You got to be cool with your own. Okay. Excuse me. Those same people will make a bad decision, then say, you know, where I was when you met me. Yeah, exactly. Right. People grow apart and stuff like this. But the point is that I'm like, I told my lady, I was like, look, I really don't want to be with anybody else. I've been doing this for a long time with you, and I really don't want to be with anybody else. You know, I was like, I might want to hook up with somebody else, but I don't want to be with anybody else. You know, because I don't want to have a family. Like, imagine all that effort you put in on trying to communicate with each other and be with each other in a relationship, and now just some other random person shows up and you're supposed to marry them. Like, how backwards do you have to be? That's how you know people don't really know what's going on. Oh, you know, you're with a girl for 12 years and then you get divorced and you marry the other person. Yeah, dumb people do that, not smart people. Yeah, like that's like the difference is that most people are talking from a very ignorant perspective and they don't know it, but they think, well, this is what men do. Oh, is it? This is what all men do, huh? Like, yeah, not the men that are just not that bright. Why would you spend weed with somebody for 12 years and then not be with them long term and keep it going? You get it? So anyway, that's the video. I do need some herbs because I'm like out of it. I can barely open my eyes right now, even though it's only 4 o'clock. And sometimes it's just not. You can love people, but sometimes it's not worth it. You can love all the poor people on the planet and all the other stuff, but it doesn't mean anything if they don't want to do better. If they don't want to do better, there's nothing you can do. You have to choose the people who are raising their hand and saying, yes, I am serious. Yes, I have money to invest. Yes, I do have a credit or something to invest in myself to show that I am serious. And you have skin to put in the game. I'm not gonna, so one client or supposed to be a client. Hey, can you have dinner with me and my brother? This is like old though, but can you have dinner with me and my brother so we can talk about your business plan for me? No, no. Do you have money? Well, I didn't get the money yet. Well, then no. Well, why not? Because you're not serious. Well, how do you know that? I said I want to have dinner. That means you're not serious. Anything but paying means you're not serious. Okay, and you can I can warm them up and all the other shit. But no, I'm not. For what? When I know there's other serious people out there that has dropped their pants right away. Why take you to dinner when I know somebody else is going to drop their pants? People don't know. You get it? They don't know. They don't understand. But they're still going to be doing the dumb. He's still at his dumb job, still getting kicked around. And they didn't give me a raise again. Like, I don't talk to him anymore, obviously, right? I stopped because I'm like, I'm not doing this shit no more. Right? It's like, what the fuck? Are you going to start your business or not? Right? And I'm not because I need the money. Because you say you want you trying to figure it out. You the one trying to figure it out. You don't have the money. What are you talking to me for? Just to like be around me or something? Like, what are you doing? You gotta start being like that. And not all the time, but like eventually, like when you get there and you're trying to run your business and stuff, and people just like, what are you doing? Like my old partner, at least I'd be like, come on, let's play the game. Okay, yeah, but we're playing the game and reading books. He's like, he was doing stuff. He's doing things. I mean, he had his own business already, or whatever. And he was doing real estate already. But the point, I'm like, some of this stuff, like some of these people, what these people are doing is weird. It's just really weird. And they don't know that they're weird. They're just like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I got this like that fat, I'm like that fat Italian guy now or whatever, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like hey, what the fuck are you doing around? You're wasting my fucking time. Get out of here. I'm fat and I'm bald and I'm eating pasta. I'm like becoming that guy. Whatever that fat Sal, hey, you fucker, fuck you. Get out of here. You're wasting my fat time. Yeah, eat a pasta. Hey, whatever. Like you eventually become this person because you just really don't have the time to keep wasting. I don't think they put people like me on TV or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they don't develop characters like that. My partner, he's kind of like that. He just was not as good at communicating it. He's good at lying about the shit, but he was like, hey, he was like, man, I'm glad I got out of there. I'm like, what the fuck? I just be having a good time. But that was before. That's before I knew better. I'm like, oh shit. See, once you really know you go into the lion's den, it's over. That's it. You're in the lion's den. Okay. Yes, it's like I'm becoming a part of the silent generation. I just remain quiet and look. Yeah. You just like, all right, I'm just running my business. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Like, what is it now? Is this racism now? Oh boy, okay. Like, come on, man, you still doing this shit? Like, well, did you hear about the whites? What about them? They're racist. I mean, so okay, the Asians, they're eating people. They're doing something today. They're feeding dog food to people. Okay, did you stop going? Like, no, I went there yesterday. What the fuck? Why? Well, I mean, it's down the street. That's all you can do. Wait, where's the let me post this John, man. Hold on real quick. Stressed meme. Where's it at, man? I know it's here. Hold on. And then I'm closing out after that, man. I go lay down with my kid. Yeah, there it is. Oh my lord. That's why they were like, well, Lindsey Graham died. Like, so the fuck? Who cares, man? Care about that guy. Lindsey Graham, man. Lindsey Graham. Hey, good riddance to that fucker, man. Well, Elon Musk said we'll be in outer space. Like, come on, man. Y'all still doing this shit? Y'all still going, huh? Y'all still going. Let me see. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it. And then we're out of here. Mitch. I'm looking for it. We're going to close out right to this picture, man. You know, I think X-Men came on too, so may watch that. Of course, my computer's going slow now. That's how they want to do it. That's how they want to do me. I just seen it though. All right, we're just gonna have to deal with this one. All right, here it is. Found it. This is how I be most of the time, man. Right here. That's how I am most of the time. Come on. Damn, they really like slowing this drawing down. They froze my computer? My computer frozen? Am I frozen right now? Am I frozen? Nah, I can't be. Hold on. Wow, this drawing really don't want me to show this laugh. Okay, all right, we're gonna have to do it this way. All right, I got it. All right, here we go. This is how I look. I'll be looking like this. I'm like, oh, I just went to the store. I just did the thing. This how you look. You're like, oh my God, here we go with this shit. No, you said this about me. No. You said this about me. No, you think you're all that. You think you're special, man. You think you're better than me. It's the face I do every single time. People they can't see me on the phone, but you know, I just that's how it is, man. All right, I don't know what's up with this tab though. Yeah, Spain won. Yeah. That's why people smoke and drink. Okay, that's the real reason they drink and smoke. What the fuck is this shit? You know, imagine not having a business and having to deal with that shit every day at a job. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Hitting one of that. Right? And if you know what this is, that's what that's for, right? At least you're enjoying this, right? You're enjoying this. You see, this is what you enjoy. You know, a little high. Okay, you're high. Look, man, I'm high at least, right? You're happy. We're doing this. That's how you know you're stressed. See, this is the difference. This and this. Oh, Lord. Man, I had a girl complaining about black men. Oh my God, dating outside of their race while she was dating me, a black man. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just stress. This is the stress smoke. This means stress. Okay, or this, right, or whatever he's doing. Yeah, this whenever it's between these two, stress. This. You're good. Right? All right, that's it. That's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was like a little bit of my story and stuff, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's Stevie J. No, this is Mekhi Phifer. This is Mekhi Phifer. Look like Stevie J though. They all look the same when they got the mustache like that. This is the unnecessary stress, man. I remember when Trump got elected, that's what this girl posted. I was like, okay, guys, get ready for these 4 years. She was like, now that's funny. Anyway, that's it. That's the video, okay? I'm going to cut my hair. I've been obviously working too hard, and I got my eye on this trust video. I'll probably do an update video later, but, you know, it is what it is, man. See you guys later.